All right, it is Tuesday after a great Monday night live in Los Angeles. It's the Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. Thanks for making us part of your day. Appreciate you stopping by. Maybe I'll get my hair together by the end of the show. What a wild Monday night. Okay, so all game you're like, Philadelphia, they're at home. I'll post a W, and all of a sudden you look up and you're like, what just happened? You know what just happened, J-Mac? Kirk Cousins happened.
Hey, did they fire Nick Sirianni yet this morning?
Oh,
my gosh, what was he doing?
Oh,
Holy cow.
So I want to start with this. It was exactly April 25th. The Atlanta Falcons drafted Michael Penix. Y'all went crazy. They were universally lambasted because they'd already signed free agent quarterback Kirk Cousins. So when they drafted Michael Penix, y'all freaked out. There was just one voice in America who defended Atlanta, a beloved sportscaster here in Los Angeles, me. And last night's why. My quote at the time was, let me get this straight. Having a four-time Pro Bowl quarterback and the best backup potentially in the league is a bad place to be in. All the Belichick sycophants and the fanboys, because he didn't get the Atlanta job, they came pouring in, an avalanche of criticism. Did you watch Kirk Cousins in the second half last night on the road? Off the surgery, 13 of 16, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, 149 passer rating. Michael Penix ain't winning that game. Kirk Cousins is. Michael Penix also isn't taking a beating like Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix. He'll be better on the bench than on his back. He's not getting his confidence shattered. I told you at the time, and I'll say it again. Bryce Young, Caleb Williams. I mean, these guys sound different after a 2-3 game losing streak. They sound different. Penix will be fine. This is very Mahomes, Alex Smith. And Atlanta's good, by the way. O-line, last night, controlled the second half. Run game, maybe the best running back room in the league. Tight end, wide receiver, strong. And Kirk Cousins, for the record, in the second half last night was insane. But if you go look at Kirk Cousins between Minnesota and Atlanta, his last 10 starts, he's got a 102 passer rating, completing almost 70% of his throws. The dude's made 4 Pro Bowls. He's the best quarterback, in my opinion. I like Baker, but the best quarterback in his division. Come on now. The move always made sense. It is never bad in the NFL to have arguably the best quarterback in a division. He didn't sign a Dak contract. He didn't sign a Mahomes he didn't sign one of those contracts. If he starts this year and a chunk of next year, you can move off it and move if he wants to play. But it's amazing. There's a reason Belichick's on TV and not coaching, because he ran out of quarterbacks. Atlanta's got 2. So it's not the end of the world. Philadelphia lost. This is a team that has a chance to win their division. And for the record, C.J. Stroud is an outlier. Mahomes sat for a year. Lamar sat for 10 games. Kirk Cousins, in 2 years, played 4 games to start. You're seeing these older quarterbacks. You're seeing people who are pushed to the side. They're doing fights. The young guys that are man overboard. You think Penix wins that game? You want Penix on his back? I don't. So Atlanta's got an excellent offensive line, excellent running backs, above average weapons. I like their coach. And a veteran quarterback who controlled the game in the second half on the road. Every fan base. Every single fan base. There's no patience in this league, right? And if your moves don't pay off immediately, every fan base in the NFL would take a top, outside of maybe Kansas City, would take a top 10 quarterback, top 12 quarterback in the league, and the best backup. And you're all freaking out. Atlanta's good. Green Bay's done it 3 times. This is what Green Bay does. They draft a really good guy, let him sit and watch football for a few years. I don't know. Favre, Rodgers, Jordan Love, it's paid off 3 times. So, I don't know. I watched this game last night. Everybody's freaking out. I picked Atlanta to win 12 games. I picked them to arguably fight for number 1 seed. The first week was a disadvantage because their former coach was the Steelers' offensive coordinator. He knew all their personnel. That was a coaching disadvantage. But last night, my staff made fun of me yesterday. I came into the morning meeting. I'm like, I like Atlanta to win. I think Atlanta, and they're all like, don't say that on the air. Literally, don't say it on the air. I think Atlanta can play. I think they have arguably, after Detroit, the best offensive line in the league. And everybody always craps on Kirk Cousins. You watch the second half? Watch that final drive. Bang, 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 touchdown, game over. Okay, now let's talk Philadelphia. Very popular team. I'm actually concerned about the state of Pennsylvania. You do realize, if you look at all the polling, you're going to decide the presidential election. We need adults in the room here, not throwing a tantrum every time you lose a football game. Folks, Saquon catches the football, you're 2-0. You beat a team, if he catches the football, in Green Bay that could win their division, and Atlanta could win theirs. Kirk Cousins is good. It happens. It's football. Your division's a mess. Giants, Washington don't look very good. Dallas is typical Dallas roller coaster. You'll be fine. Now, Nick Sirianni's not Andy Reid. Who is? There's one. People even complained this weekend about Kyle Shanahan. Sean McVay's 0-2. John Harbaugh's 0-2. Yeah, you don't have Andy Reid. But A.J. Brown, your number one receiver, did not play. That is a thing. You can defend Philadelphia much differently when A.J. Brown's not on the field. For most of the game, you look like the better team. You also have a very expensive offense, and because of that, there's some liabilities or weaknesses on the back end. You know what you really are, and you should take pride in this. You're really the opposite of the Steelers. You're great at quarterback. You spend your money on offense, but you probably don't trust your defense to win a Super Bowl. Would you rather be the Steelers, who spend all their money on defense, and that quarterback room is just not good enough? 2-0 start. Yeah, check back in 8 weeks. So, Philadelphia is going to win their division, I would imagine. And then ultimately, at some point late in the season, they're going to lose a game in January or maybe February. They just can't make a stop. Okay, but that's because nobody is stopping Patrick Mahomes, right? No, as Cincinnati, a really good team with a great pass rush, they couldn't stop them enough to win. So Jaylen Hurts, let's look at the good news. Jaylen Hurts, back to being dynamic. Jaylen Hurts was something. A.J. Brown's returning. Saquon Barkley, say whatever you want to say about Saquon Barkley. Clearly a really good player who just dropped a ball. Your offensive line's top 5 in the league. You're deciding our democracy. I need you to take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. Now, we'll check back on November 5th on your decision, but everything's going to be okay. Saquon catches it. You're 2-0 over 2 teams that could win a division. What's funny about this is that there are certain quarterbacks. Look who is doing well at quarterback in this league. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, last night Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith. A lot of reps, older guys, been around the league in the first 2 weeks of the season when, no starters are playing in the preseason. Offensive lines are out of rhythm. Atlanta was a tough game last night. Okay, you know who is flourishing? Veteran quarterbacks who have been around the block. Since no starters are playing in the preseason, the Bakers and Sam Darnolds, they look pretty good. Geno's doing well. And Kirk Cousins last night with a good offensive line. That was a tough game for Philadelphia. Atlanta's no pushover, but take a deep breath. Nick Sirianni has been to a Super Bowl. He can't be that terrible. Not a lot of terrible coaches end up there. He's not a top 5 coach. They're not terrible. Listen, in Dallas, they don't like their coach. In New York, they got a good coach. They don't like Brian Daboll. Like it's an epidemic. Take a deep breath. You're going to be fine. All right, J-Mac. That, first of all, wildly entertaining football game.
Wildly entertaining opening rant from you, huh? Falcons, everything's fine. They should be 0-2 this morning. We would be laughing at them for letting the Eagles walk up and down the field against
This is not a should-be league.
Oh, I know.
It is what's the final score league? Pittsburgh's 2-0, Ravens 0-2. It should be Pittsburgh's 0-2, and the Ravens are 2-0 by a toe. And they led the Raiders late, but it's not a should-be league.
And Pittsburgh looks like it's headed to 3-0 if you've seen this Justin Herbert update, where he's definitely not mobile and not looking good. And now Pittsburgh might be 3-0, and they have 1 offensive touchdown. What a league. What a start to the season. Just bananas. Last night
hey, here, listen, Jaylen Hurts looked good.
Yeah.
Jaylen Hurts looked good. He's fine.
He did, with no A.J. Brown. By the way, how many deep passes did they complete? Passes over 20 yards last night? None. They have no offense without A.J. Brown.
That's right. So they'll be good.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.